So the Science Bio Phenylpiracetam came in. So I'm going to be testing the phenylpiracetam with TLC against piracetam, another source piracetam, and caffeine using ethyl acetate. So I have to go get jars today. I have standardized jars, and I can run that experiment today. But that's part of a broader experiment that I've already conducted, which is what happens when you go cold turkey off of Adderall onto a racetam because of the racetam's effect on the NMDA receptor and the dopamine transport chain. So you have dopamine and you have the NMDA receptor, which are both very active with Adderall. Now you have equal but seemingly opposite direction receptor activity via the cholinergic system with the racetam molecules, creating protocols based on piracetam, phenylpiracetam, and choline that center around essentially resensitizing those systems. This is a lot of Russian neuroscience research. I want to brush up on said Russian neuroscience research, but I did a lot of this research years ago when I did this experiment the first time with simply piracetam, and that was very, very successful. I only did this because I wanted to see what I would do if I couldn't get Adderall. So I was like, okay, if I can't get Adderall, what am I going to do? Well, I got piracetam, and I can just go off of piracetam easily. So piracetam, very, very, very effective. Phenylpiracetam, seemingly more effective, but I'm going to test these substances to make sure that they're actually what they say they are, using TLC, which is pretty definitive. I'm going to try to do melting point as well, but I don't have a melting point machine right now, and I don't really want to order one. So I don't know where to put it at the moment because it's still getting into the new facility and moving around stuff. So, but I might try to borrow someone's melting point machine to also confirm with melting point because I like two-factor confirmation. But I think TLC will probably be good simply because you can see with TLC how many compounds are in it, and you can see the RF of the compound by just looking it up. And just look up the RF and you can just see what's in it. And it's you can't really get, so let's say you take it and it has the effects of phenylpiracetam or something. I don't know if there are compounds, could someone, this is a useful question, I may investigate this in other videos. Could someone, and I'll make this about chemical testing in general, because you always want to test all substances you consume, probably even pharmaceutical ones. Honestly, just test everything. It's really good. It's responsible. It's you're taking accountability for all the substances that are going into your body by performing chemical tests on them yourself, which is just so much fun. So I think that melting point is a good way to test because melting point will give you purity and identity. The TLC also gives you purity and identity as well, I think. I don't think you're going to get compounds. I wonder, do you have compounds that have, the same RF? What happens? Because there must be compounds out there that have, the same RF. Or maybe they're just similar, and that's why you just run multiple plates, because you can just see subtle differences. I want to, really investigate this with TLC, because I love TLC as a method of confirming things. But this is an interesting thing with TLC, is, does every single chemical have a completely unique RF? I don't think every single chemical has a unique melting point. I don't think all these are unique, but I think it's more so the lower probability. There's such a low probability of you thinking, because you have to conduct the experiment with a hypothesis in mind. You're basically trying to reject the null hypothesis. You're okay, the null hypothesis is that this is not this compound. So I'm going to test against that by running a TLC analysis. Okay, it looks that this sample is completely pure via the TLC, and the RF ran exactly to this point, and it says it's this. It's probably this. It's almost overwhelmingly this. So that's, I think, where the statistical validity of TLC comes in. But I believe that the more methods you can use, the better. And again, the same with my hypothesis about the NMDA receptor and the dopamine transporter. The more ways that I can confirm that resensitivity of this via the mechanism of racetam use, either piracetam or phenylpiracetam, and probably also ketosis, because ketosis as well. and B vitamins and all that stuff. The more I can confirm this, the better. But I'm just confirming the experiment a second time with phenylpiracetam, because phenylpiracetam is just kind of cooler, I think. I don't know. I mean, I like piracetam. I'm not the biggest fan of oxiracetam or aniracetam, but phenylpiracetam's nice. Piracetam's real nice. And let's resensitize my receptors.